The number of Texas schools deciding to arm teachers or staff is increasing. Channel 2 investigator Robert Arnold got a rare look inside one of the first districts in the state to implement what's called the Guardian Plan. He traveled to Christoval Independent School District to see how this plan evolved to include more than just firearms and why the superintendent says other districts are now taking note.
The great state of Texas gets it right again. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel and like my content and you wish to support me, you can do so with the link in the description box. Everything is appreciated. We need more voices on the Constitution. We need them out there. But let's talk about this. Now, this is stemming from an ideal that Texas had 4 years ago, arming teachers. It seems like they're now really starting to rev amp and push it. But you saw that video there in a little bit in the beginning. Now, once again, that was from 4 years ago, as it was, basically a suggestion where teachers could voluntarily arm themselves. Well, it seems like they've upped the game, and they are putting a bill through for any school employee who wishes to volunteer. It's not mandatory to be an armed guard at the school. They want to pay you more money per year to do so. I believe it's $25,000. And why not? Why not? But of course, let me just go ahead and I want to give you more context on the whole premise of Texas and arming teachers. So let's get that first and then we'll come back.
For more than a decade now, Texas has allowed teachers and staff to carry guns on campus. Now there's a Texas bill proposing giving those who take on that responsibility a stipend of up to $25,000. Our Aaron Jones asking those districts tonight what they think about that.
Several years ago, Pilot Point ISD in Denton County made the decision to arm teachers.
That this is a smaller community. We don't have all the resources that some of the larger cities have with law enforcement, and they needed the extra protection and felt it was a necessary addition.
District Police Chief Brad Merritt says employees who are interested participate in what's known as the Defender Program.
We chose that program because of the training. It's very intense training, interview process, psychological interviews. Then they have to go through the firearms training, classroom training.
A new bill being considered by state lawmakers proposes Texas schools could offer stipends of up to $25,000 to teachers or other staff members who opt to be armed on campus. They would have to take mental health and firearms training as well as first aid courses. They'd also learn how to spot signs of mental health issues.
I like it. A lot of the districts aren't going to be able to afford to pay stipends like that. I think you have to be careful when you get into paying stipends, because then you get people into the program for the wrong reasons. They want to be incentivized.
Something Dallas ISD's Teachers Union, Alliance AFT, agrees with.
And while that is a very enticing amount of money, some people, I think, would feel pressured because they need to make ends meet for their families. And so it's important that we understand safety is priority. I don't think that we'll see a whole lot of our educators taking up that offer.
I think it's important that we make the selections based on the criteria that we have in place, and then we throw the incentive on top of that.
And this legislation has passed in the State House with bipartisan support. It now moves on to the Senate. Aaron?
Heard that and you saw that. I remember, I'm in Connecticut, and I'm going to say this. I remember after Columbine, and I wish I could remember the newspaper. The newspaper put out an opinion piece. This was right after Columbine. So they put out an opinion piece saying, should we have armed guards at schools? And the responses overwhelmingly were, it will create a bad environment for the children having people with guns walking around. And I said way back then, that is a bad attitude and a bad response. Because you cannot prevent evil if you don't have the tools to do so, if you don't have the same level, if you're not willing to bring the same level of violence to the situation, then you're in trouble. And and then we started seeing these things start to escalate because we glorify the shooter. So this lone wolf person all of a sudden sees the notoriety this person gets and they copy it. But they glorify the shooter. Nashville's a perfect example. They were more worried about the misgendering of the shooter than the fact that the shooter killed 6 people. But armed guards is what I said right from the beginning, right at the Columbine. We need armed guards at schools. Oh no, that would give a bad impression on the children. Being shot at gives you a bad impression. And the banning of certain firearms is not going to prevent it. But let me come into here, and this is Fox News. Okay, Texas bill proposes up to $25,000 for school employees authorized to act as armed guard. House Bill 13 would allow public and open enrollment charter school employees to be eligible for the school guardian training stipend. State lawmakers in Texas advanced a bill Tuesday suggesting stipends of up to $25,000 for public school staff members who become designated guardians authorized to carry or possess a weapon while working on the premises. Okay, House Bill 13, which focuses on training, preparedness, and funding for school safety and emergencies, passed with bipartisan support. Democrats are on board. Good for them. They said Texas must have the same Democrats. And now heads to the state Senate, where its future is uncertain. Texas lawmakers have until May 29th to pass the school safety measures before adjourning without a set return date. If passed, the bill would allow teachers and staff of public and open enrollment charter schools within the state to be eligible for the school guardian training stipend. Approved employees would ultimately be agreeing to act as campus security in addition to their regular roles. Why not? You're on the campus anyway. If you know how to use a gun, it is the greatest deterrent. But they would also be required to take courses in first aid, firearms training, and rigorous mental health training. Nothing wrong with that, which would be on top of the mental health training Texas lawmakers want to require for all school employees. No problem. Representative Ken King, a Republican who authored the bill, said the legislation comes in light of the tragedies that have occurred in Texas schools over the past years. HB 13 allows school districts to create a safety plan that works best for their local community while ensuring a minimum standard for all, King tweeted on Tuesday. King also said he hopes the stipend would help school employees be able to identify the children who need help before a problem arises, according to the Associated Press. Other school safety measures advanced in the Texas legislature include requiring at least one armed person on all public school campuses. That person could be a police officer, a school staff member, or someone of the like. The bill requiring silent panic buttons in classroom is also awaiting the signature of Republican Governor Greg Abbott, another good thing. Now, here we go. Oh boy. Representative James Tallarico, a Democrat and former middle school teacher, voted against Tuesday's proposal after expressing concerns that it would create an incentive for teachers struggling financially to start carrying weapons. So what? If they take the training, if they get their mental health, and they're willing to do what it required, who cares? It's just more protection. That's a dumb response. Sorry. Even teachers who don't want to carry guns may feel like that they are financially pressured to do so, just as they can provide for the family, Tallarico said. Well, they're providing for the families now without the money. Why would carrying a gun now incentivize them to do it, to get more money? You got to stand by your principles. If you don't want to be armed, don't be armed. But don't do it because you can get some money. How about you have some morals of your own? If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But don't say, oh, it's because of the money I'm doing this. No. Then you're useless to this whole program, because when stuff goes down, you're going to run in the other direction. So, but sorry, James, dumb response. Teachers in Texas are already allowed to carry guns as long as they participate in required firearm lessons, but the program has drawn few takers according to the AP. Once again, you don't want people who aren't on board with it carrying a gun, else they're going to be ineffective. You need people who are willing to engage. Okay? Okay, the bill's advancement comes nearly a month before the one-year anniversary of the shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, where a gunman killed 19 children and 2 teachers. As mass shootings in America are on pace to hit a record high in 2023, once again, because of the way that they classify a mass shooting, they changed the definition, the standard, to a lower standard so they could include any event. Regardless of the reasonings behind the shooting, they could include it in a mass shooting. Drug deal gone bad, 4 people injured, mass shooting. That's why. There have been calls for more armed personnel in schools across the country from both civilians and lawmakers. On Tuesday, U.S. Senator Rick Scott of Florida proposed an $80 million program that would fund armed officers in all schools. Now, I heard some Democrats saying, well, we can't afford it, yet we have billions to send to Ukraine with no accountability. We can't spend money on school security, but yep, after the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting in 2012, Texas created a voluntary school marshal program allowing districts to appoint vetted all police officers with the sole purpose of protecting students and teachers during an active shooter situation. Okay, and let's just go down to here. In its first 4 years, the program has certified just 33 school marshals across the state, which has about 9,000 campuses. The AP reported by summer 2022, shortly after Uvalde, there were still fewer than 400, but 33 to 400 is still good. Okay, so let's come out of that. Texas, once again, is on the right track. Okay, put armed guards in schools. Put armed guards who are willing to engage, who understand lethal force. You know, when the first hearing, I went to the first public hearing after the Sandy Hook incident. I spoke at that hearing, and if I can find a video, I'll put it in the description box. And my whole thought was, you have a pool. Every state has a pool of people who are willing to protect the school, who are willing to do the firearms training, who are willing to do the mental health, who are willing to do whatever that state requires to protect the school, who are just people out and about and civilians. Yet they won't touch that. They want to spend more money. I'd do it for free if the time is there. I would definitely do it for free. I would do the training, I would do the mental health, I would do everything. And I would protect the school. I don't know why these states don't tap into the public resource. Because these are also parents. And like I said, the parent will give their life to protect their child. But once again, it's too much common sense, and bans are a lot easier to do. Let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.